Alright, good morning sports fans, welcome back to the channel, welcome to a new video. Been on a bit of like a hiatus for the past few days, but I'm hoping to get back into it today. Also the weather over the past few days hasn't been great, but it looks like for one day only, the summer's back. I spent the past few days riding around in winter kit and today I'm back in a t-shirt, which is pretty bizarre, but yeah, I'm not complaining. As you can see, I'm currently trying to dry out my shoes before I head out on the bike today, because yesterday it was raining. Pretty much at the end of my season now. I had my last road race on Sunday, which I won. Here's a couple of clips from that race. Real happy to finish my road season, or like my last road race, with a win. That win also meant that I secured, or I got my elite license now for next year. This year I spent it as a first cat, then next year now I'm going to be an elite, which is pretty awesome. Got one very last race now this year. It's going to be a crit on Saturday over in Nottingham. Originally last weekend was going to be my last race, but then, you know, I don't want the season to end. I'm clearly going pretty well at the minute, so if I can prolong my season for as long as possible, then that's better. So the race last weekend was pretty typical National B. It was a hilly course, probably the hilliest circuit that I've done all year. It was a short circuit. It was like a 7.5k lap, I think it was. 12 or 13 laps, and essentially half the lap was uphill and half the lap was downhill. It was almost like a 2k. It was like a 2k climb almost, from bottom to top. The finish line was on the top. The breakaway went like third lap in, pretty soon in. The race just naturally whittled down very quickly. We started with a break of 6 or 7, and then by the final few laps, it whittled down. A couple of guys got dropped, and I think there was either 4 or 5 of us left on by the finale. I tried to attack on the last lap and go solo, but none of the guys. Everyone was still reasonably fresh. Everyone could react to that. Could react to that attack. So yeah, I played bluff a little bit. Acted like I was suffering more than I probably was, and sat on then for like the last lap. And then as we hit the last climb, one of the other riders attacked. He got a bit of a gap. I let the other guys bring him back and chase, and as soon as we caught him, I countered towards the top of the hill, like the third quarter, and then yeah, managed to just ride off and win. Wasn't sure how I would feel after spending the week in Belgium. I come back for 2 days. I did absolutely nothing because I was just a complete write-off, but managed to find some legs and managed to recover again for the race. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you for too long. Even the dogs are tired of listening to me right now. Currently riding up Ashurst Beacon climb. I've got zero schedule at the minute, like absolutely no training that I have to complete. Just kind of doing what I want to do at the minute. With one more race on Saturday, and today's Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. So what I'm doing now isn't really going to affect how I race on Saturday. So I'm just riding on feel, and the sun's obviously out today. It's currently 19.5 degrees, so I'm going to make the most of this day. Yeah, just cruise around for a bit. I'm not planning on riding too hard. I don't know. I reckon I'll do about an hour and a half to 2 hours. This is what it's all about. Just riding the bike for the fun of it, for the love of it. Okay, I decided to do a little bit of Strava hunting. It's quite windy today, but regardless, I set out to do an easy ride, and then I got to, I approached a climb called Shaley Brow. It's about a 4-minute climb, just under 4 minutes. And yeah, just decided to have a pop at it. Decided to go for the KOM. No gas today. No gas. You know, it's another popular climb, but yeah, did not have the gas today to try and take the KOM. I think I may have got inside the top 5 on the Strava leaderboard, but on another day we go again. But a quick side note on a completely different subject. I've got a little bit of sad news. Okay, so before I get on to the topic of conversation that I want to talk about right now, I had a quick look at my Training Peaks account when I got home from my ride, and yesterday I was in the Lake District. I did an effort up Kirkstone Pass, and I set an all new 10-minute max or 10-minute average power PB, and today after my efforts up Shaley Brow, I set a new all-time 5-minute power PB. Absolutely loving this end of season form for absolutely nothing. On a positive note though, I know like what I did to get like to build this form, so I guess next season I can replicate what I did this year towards the end of this year at the start of the season, and then hopefully go a little bit better and be a little bit fitter like mid-season rather than once the season's finished. Anyway, on to a little bit of sad news. As you know, this year I've been with St. Piran. One of the team sponsors was Colnago, so they provided us with a Colnago C60 bike for the year with complete Campag group set and a physique finishing kit. Also one of our sponsors. Well, like all good things, my time riding that bike is going to come to an end. I've got to take it back down to Cornwall, which is where the team's based. For those of you that don't know, I'm going to take it down to Cornwall this weekend. It's got to be back, and then the team will then sell the bike. And yeah, so like now these last few days are like my last few days riding the bike. Pretty sad to be taking the Colnago back. I've loved riding it this year. Such a stiff bike. Managed to win 5 races. Probably got another 5 top 3s. So yeah, it served me well this year, and it's just a pretty standard thing for teams to do at the end of the season. You have a certain date where the bike's got to be back by. You know, you're not given the bike, you're loaned the bike for the year. Once the season's over, whether you give it back to your team and then they sell it on. So we've got about 4 more days of riding the Colnago before it's time to say goodbye. Okay, so I've had a number of bike fits, and a couple of times this season I tweaked my bike a little bit. I've changed the stem, I've gone lower, I've changed my saddle, and I feel like I'm at a point now where this is like the comfiest setup that I've ever had on a road bike. I very, very rarely get issues. You know, it just works. In order to replicate the position that I've got on this bike, my Colnago, my race bike, I'm gonna get a piece of paper and just take as many measurements as I can from all different angles, and then when I purchase my new winter bike, which I'm going to get into in another video, I can just replicate all of the measurements and hopefully get a bike that's set up in exactly or near enough exactly the same way as my race bike is set up. Okay, spent a bit of time this evening looking through the internet at different brands of winter bikes. When that bike goes back, I've not really got a bike sorted for the winter. So what bikes are you all riding? Leave a comment down below. Let me know what bikes I should check out. I mean so far I've been looking at Kinesis, Cannondale Synapse, Dolan, and a few other brands. And also, if anyone has any contacts, any bike manufacturers, also let me know, please. But yeah, that's going to be the end of today's video. Thank you for the response on my previous video. I was a little bit nervous, obviously, understandably, I think, to put that up and to post that, but the response to that video has been pretty sick. So yeah, onwards and upwards. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please drop a thumbs up, and as always, I'll see you tomorrow at 5 PM